So I have a plan, and I think this is going to be a good one. So Dimples here is currently empty, and I haven't been able to put my bed platform back in here because I don't need anything that's going to be hard to take in and out whenever the shop calls so that I can get it fixed. So go with me on this journey. I want to travel. Like, I want to go someplace that is going to be able to be in my van overnight, maybe away from the really hot temperatures. And so I have something coming up where this will be a perfect opportunity for me to do that. But there's a few obstacles in doing that I really need to address. Number one is that bed situation. Currently, this is my bed. This is the bed for the van. It lives in my bathroom at my base camp because everything's been emptied out. The problem is my bed is set up to be a bed that is static and I can put everything under it. And in order to access my kitchen or anything that's under the bed, I have to pull open the rear doors and pop open a table. And I really like that setup. It's worked well for me and I've loved every minute of it. But right now, opening my doors is not something that I feel comfortable or confident doing because of the damage that's been done to them. So I have an idea. What if I didn't use my back doors? What if I just used the side doors and I left the back doors in place so that they could remain locked at all times, and then I wouldn't have to open and close, and thus I might not have as much problem with the doors themselves. The problem that's happening right now with the doors, for those who are just joining, is that I had an accident whenever I was in Phoenix where I was rear-ended and it kind of damaged the locking mechanism. So whenever you open and close the doors, you have to slam the doors, and then I've noticed that especially in the heat, they have expanded to a place where it is just really not good. They get stuck. They don't close as well, and if you can't get them closed, they don't lock, which takes away your security, but also creates problems. And some of the things that you can find online about this problem are that they could potentially open while you're going down the road. So I haven't felt comfortable doing that. But I was kind of thinking, if I don't have to use those doors, I could potentially still have some meaningful opportunities if I can make sure that they're going to be safe. So I think I'm starting from scratch. Right now, Dimples has both seats in again and the entire back end is empty. So if I could find a way to use this space, store my things, and then be able to go someplace, this would be great. So what I'm thinking is, because I have my mountain house retreat coming up, this would be a good time to try this out. I have to be there for a couple days, and I won't be staying in the van during those couple days, but on the way there and on the way back, I could test out a layout that would work for the time being. Not necessarily a permanent solution, but something that would get me to where I need to go without having to worry as much. And that means I'm gonna have to make a change, like a really, really big change. So this mattress, like I said, super static. It is a memory foam mattress, and the problem with that is that laying this guy on the floor without support after it's been in its regular state could mess it up a little bit. Also, laying it on the floor in its current state could take up a lot of room. So since I cannot use the back doors, why not use both the side doors? And in doing that, I have a friend who has a very interesting layout that I might dabble in a little bit more similarly. If you've seen Lady Bugout's channel, you know that she has a different kind of bed than I do. And her bed actually can fold down so that she can use it. And I want to kind of do a version of that, I think. So I decided that I would try a version of this that is, you know, something I could manage without having to build anything at this moment. If this works out, this new plan, it could be really cool. And it might even inspire me to change the entire layout of my van. So what I'm going to do is a bare minimum put together van, and I'll show you guys what that looks like at a little bit later time after I start putting the pieces together as to what exactly I need in the van. But today is the day that we're gonna put the main piece like into play at least and figure out how big it is. And by that I mean the mattress. I found a mattress that I think is gonna work for this, that's gonna be perfect for the space and provide the support that I need for my bad back, but also can be folded away, unlike my mattress that I had before. This is gonna allow me to enjoy the space that I have between the two doors and use it a little bit differently so that I don't feel just overwhelmed. I can't put my shelf back in my van right now because it still needs brackets and it's super hard to unload. And ultimately, everything I put in there right now, I'm gonna have to take back out when it does go to the shop. So for the time being, finding meaningful solutions to still allow me to adventure and enjoy myself, super, super important. But this also gives me a good, realistic timeline of testing things so that I can see if they work out before I make any massive changes to the van by building things or doing anything like that. So going back with the no build, this is gonna be wild. Super excited. It's like I'm starting over, but in a much better position because I have way more knowledge now. So I guess I need to get into this mattress and see what it's gonna look like. First things first, this is the Molblly brand, and I'm very excited because they have a variety of different kinds of mattresses, but specifically they have several different sizes in their trifolds that are perfect for van life. The package came within only a few days, and it shipped in a box that when I saw it, I was like, there's no way this could be my bed. There's no way. And I've received several beds at this point between my base camp here and then my van itself and then my parents' van. And this one looked like there's no way that it's fitting in there, but it totally did. This is the box. It's a little bit over waist high. And as you can see, this is a regular size hand that I have here. So it's not super big at all. And then the mattress looks like this when it arrives. It's just wound up and taped together so it stays nice and firm. And so I'm assuming that inside here, it's gonna give us some instructions for how long this thing needs to sit out before I can actually use it in the van. This bed is actually an XL twin, so it's gonna be similar to the size of my bed, but instead of an 8-inch memory foam, I did a 6-inch because since it's folding, I figured that would be plenty. And I'm gonna try to use this without any kind of frame or anything and just set it flat and see how it works, just flat on the van floor. If I do like it, I'll probably end up building some form of frame for it as I go, and the deeper into the weighting on the van parts, it should be pretty interesting. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut open the packaging and roll this thing out and see what happens next. Okay, let's see, does it just pop open? Oh, it might just pop open. Okay, I may not need the scissors after all. Maybe, we'll see. Okay, so right out the box, unrolled, this is what it looks like. It's still rolled just a little bit because it's still in the plastic. So, don't know what this is yet. About to find out. I think I'm supposed to cut this, but before I do, I'm gonna read the instructions. There's actually a few things in here. This looks to be some kind of cutter. So I'm gonna put that over here. There's a letter to the valued customer and also what looks like some kind of instructions. The letter to the valued customer says, Rome was not built in a day. No, and this mattress isn't going to be ready in a day either, probably. Let's see. We sincerely hope you can exchange with us and provide more suggestions. I like that. Anytime a company is receptive to information from the consumer, super, super good. And also it talks about their goals as a company, which I really like because that's like a mission statement that they're sharing with us. So that's cool. But this is the one that I think we need for the actual getting ready of the mattress. So here we go. Okay, again, there's their name, Molblly. And then inside, there's just one page here. How to unpack. Pull it from the box, check. Unroll it, check. Or pull the plastic and then unroll it. And then we're gonna cut around the edge and make sure that it doesn't get close to the actual mattress. And then I'm gonna wait 24 to 48 hours for it to fluff up. Okay, I can do that. That's pretty typical. Every bed that I've ever had, it's taken about 24 to 48 hours. And in the case of a larger one, 72 hours. So this is a logical time frame. You'll be able to see it start expanding as soon as it is cut open, and it'll probably make a sound. That's what I've encountered before though. But this might be different because it's a trifold, so that's why I'm very excited about it. Also, this might be a little bit wider than my previous bed, so I guess I will do some measuring to see if it is. Ooh, that's more room for me. I'm not mad at that. This part's also actually kind of nice. They have a limited warranty on these, and it talks about what is and is not covered. And so this is super handy. So I'll be keeping all of this paperwork together I just always recommend that you do that at least until you've had it for a little while. I still don't know what this gray thing is though, so we're about to find out, I guess. This could be kind of fun. Okay. Ugh. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, I guess I could cut here and then just cut across. Maybe I'll go from this side first. Here we go. Keep going. It gets kind of tangled up in here. So right here, as I pull it back just a little bit, there's a hole where I could hear air coming through somewhere in here. I might have to cut this a bit more because it didn't quite make it all the way into the mattress though. It's literally moving as I speak. Do you see how it's starting to form down now? I cut this edge and it's moving on its own. Definitely inflating, and I can hear it starting to snap and crackle in here too. So after it flat lays, it'll be easier to pull the plastic off. So see, it's starting to come off much easier now. And then I'll probably cut along the side if it doesn't just pull apart. Ugh, it may not pull apart on this one. Okay, so this is after like 10 minutes, tops, 10 minutes. And it's already so much bigger, but I need to flat lay it so it can continue to grow. The corners are starting to come in. Those are usually the last to completely fill in, so this is gonna take a bit. But what is this? I still don't know what this is. Is it a carrying case? It is! So I can fold it up and actually put it into this to carry it, I think. Oh my gosh. Oh, that is so cool. In fact, look, this is the width and then also the height. So you can literally stack these up and fold them and put them in here to carry. That is so nice because mattresses are so bulky to maneuver. So now anytime I do need to move it, I can just put it in here. Why have other companies not done something like that? I've never seen that. And I don't know if that's just a trifold thing or if that's just a Molblly thing. I'm really impressed though. This is inflating very quickly from the pressure, but also it's really nice. Like the quilt top feels so good. It's soft. And the edges are reinforced kind of with a darker color because, you know, I really love having a mattress protector of some kind. And the edges that I typically notice get kind of more dingy than the top because, you know, you just rough up against them and stuff. And especially in a van, that's a big deal. So this is going to be nice. I think this is going to work with pretty much all of my sheets that I already have. And I'll just be able to make my bed and put it up and put it down. And if I do get lazy and don't want to like fold up my bed one day, I can just leave it in the down position. This is going to give me a lot of options. This is also going to be a lot more space. This is going to be fun. Okay, I'm just waking up and let's go check on the bed. It's been sitting overnight and it's at about 24 hours. So this is a little under 24 hours, but last night before bed, I noticed it was already extremely firm. So I think it will be definitely ready right now. And I'm so excited. This is gonna be great. Okay, I went ahead and just set it up like this because I think I should be able to also use this as like a seat. That's the goal of the trifold, for me at least, having a seat and a bed. So down we go. Ooh, this is nice. This is firm. This feels very good. I think this is going to be a really good option. I also think this is a little bit bigger than my other bed because like I'm kind of in the middle of it right now. And normally there's a few inches on each side. I made it very small. But this has got a lot more space. This is like bigger. I think this is because it's an XL twin and my other one is more like a cot twin. I think there's going to be a big difference, but let's measure it. Okay, this again is the other mattress and it's a little lumpy because of the way I have the mattress protector on here, but right at about 28, 29 inches right there. And I have the corners cut just a little bit to pop in so that it can sit flat all the time. So 28, 29 inches. it's been a good ride, and I, again, love this mattress. 8 inches of memory foam, but because we're changing things up, I think this guy's bigger. I'd be so excited if the Molblly mattress is a little bit wider, because since I'm not gonna have all the things in my van, why not have a little bit more space to kind of have some wiggle room? Okay, so since I'm doing it this way, let's see. Oh, this is great. This is 38 inches, so it is a little bit bigger. So that means I'm definitely gonna have to check my sheets to make sure they still fit it. If not, I'm gonna have to find some bigger sheets. That's fine. Or I could just use a flat sheet and cover it every night. That would be okay also. I know my blanket will work. So it's 38 inches, and it's a full length mattress. So it's long enough for me to comfortably lay on and have no issues. It feels nice and firm when I put it in the chair mode. It feels pretty decently firm whenever I lay down. So now it's just a matter of putting it in the van. And I am so excited about this. This is one of the biggest changes that I've made to the van since I started van life. I started out my life traveling and tent camping, and after learning the things that I did, I implemented those into my van journey, and I've since been making changes to kind of customize and tweak all of the different things that I needed along the way. Of course, I started off on a cot, and then eventually I built a bed platform, and then I moved the good mattress that was the only mattress in there, and then I had an accident, so everything had to come out, and now it's an empty shell, and now it's time to start putting things back in again in a different way that is a more temporary setup. And I could be upset about this, or I could be like, oh, no, I don't want to do that until I can put it all back in and be stubborn. But I think that there's something to be said for trying to pivot and work with what you have. And as long as it's safe to do so, which again, I've checked it out and made sure that as long as I'm not using the doors at all, that it would be safe. And I'm ready to make a little bit of a pivot. Now, this may be a very short time. They may call me up tomorrow and be like, hey, by the way, the parts came in, and then I may have to hightail it back and take care of that. Or I may have to kind of adapt and do this for a while, which will give me a lot of opportunity to check out different things in the van. But I'm just glad that I came to this conclusion of that I could possibly do this as long as I had like a check mark of approval for it being safe. And now I'm going to go a little bit. It'll still probably be shorter trips than I'm used to, simply because I'm not going to have as many things in the van with me, because I'm not going to load it down all the way. And also, I really need to take care of a few things that I'm kind of going back and forth with. So I'm going to travel for a little bit and then come back to base camp, and then travel for a little bit and come back to base camp. And it'll feel much like whenever I first started my channel, but I'm so excited about this Molblly mattress. Okay, it's now been over 24 hours, and I just wanted to come back and check. It was filling in the corners still a little bit this morning, but wow, this is gonna be nice and firm. Like, I can push down on this, and it has a nice firmness to it, which will be great for my back. But 38 inches, 6 inches of memory foam on each layer. And the nice thing about this is it has like these really good substantial corners. On the bottom, it has like anti-slip material, and all of these covers can actually come off and be laundered. So that's really cool. So that means I won't have to get another mattress cover, but I may still do it just because this is white. White in van life sometimes doesn't work. I think the best thing about this is that it's going to give me some other options. Before, my bed was static, so I could use it one way. And if I had somebody else who wanted to sit in my van with me and just sit and chat, for example, on a rainy day, I would have to have them either bring a chair and sit in my blank space, which was very small, or sit on top of the bed also. So like whenever Riley and I were traveling, a lot of times when we were in that really gross weather, like we would want to still be chatting and enjoying each other's company, but neither of us has a big rig. So I would either sit in Riley's back seat, or she would come and like sit in the little void on a stool. And that worked out really great. But One of the things that I really like about Lady Bug Out's van is that she has more space for people to be able to sit. She can seat like 4 people in there. And so it's an entertainment space. We've actually played games in her van before whenever the weather was just so cold. And I've always thought that that was great. But the one thing holding me back from doing that was having that static bed placement. So this gives me the opportunity to do that, but also sit in a variety of different ways, which I'll show you whenever we get it all put into the van and kind of where it's gonna be. What a lot of people don't know is the reason that I selected a static bed in the first place was because I had gone from tent camping where every day I would have to completely set up and completely tear down and completely set up and completely tear down. And some of those days were just gross because they were rainy or they were cold. And I did not want to have to do any kind of setup and tear down in my van. I wanted to make my life simple. And right now I want my life to be simple as well, which is why I'm gonna go in with the no build and not add a whole bunch of stuff to the van for the time being until I know when they're gonna get me in the shop. Because again, taking all that stuff out, each thing you add, you have to take out, and it's really overwhelming. Whenever I came back to Texas and had to empty everything, it took me days because it was just so hot. And I don't want to encounter that again. I want to just kind of scale back for a little bit. And in doing this first trip, I think it'll be super easy for me to pack with intention. So it'll make it a good testing grounds for this. But also to see if I am going to be comfortable with setting up, tearing down with the bed. So I think this is gonna be fun, and I can't wait to share more as soon as I get moving into the van. Those are gonna be some hot days getting ready for that trip, so they'll be coming up very soon, and I can't wait to share them with you. I'll be busting out the sweat, and you'll be sitting there going, oh my gosh, please go in and get water, and it'll be okay, but we're gonna do this together, and I think that you guys are gonna like it. So, until then, remember we're not here for a long time, but we're here for a good time, and well, the good time's just gonna look a little bit different pretty soon, and I can't wait.